Skeletor has had his share of plans and failures in an attempt to destroy and become master of the universe. But this time, he has struck gold. Panthor has been transformed into a world-destroying beast, and he's coming for you. You have one crate and one crate only to fill with your most favorite and iconic vintage toys. Choose wisely, for I'm coming to ask you what your choices are.
I'm here with Dan the Man. Now, I just quickly go through it a bit. He's my friend from year 7.
Year 7?
Year 7, long time ago. I won't tell you how long, but you probably know. So he just rang me one night and he was hell pumped. And he goes, oh man, Eric, I've got an idea for you. And here it is, he's going to bring it to life. I think it's awesome, hopefully you guys too. So, you want to explain quickly your idea?
Yeah, I guess the basic idea was, if your house is burning down, the world's ending, and you had one box to chuck your toy collection into, what would you bring?
And I'm going to try quickly in saying this scenario, Skeletor has turned Panthor into a planet-destroying monster, so he's coming for you. Anyway, sorry, that was my spin on it.
That's a much better version of what I came up with. But yeah, effectively it was like, if you had to pick and downsize really significantly, what would you choose to represent, everything you love and are interested in? And so it took me a little while to put the box together, but that's the box. I'm actually pretty happy with it. I only really finished it, even finishing touches, just like half an hour ago. So I'm actually really happy with it.
Quite a few text messages in that time too. What's going in there and stuff. So.
But I kind of feel like at the end of the day, if I moved to a small apartment and I had one glass cabinet, I'd be pretty happy with all of this stuff. Sitting, showing off.
Sweet as. So I'm also letting Dan the Man name it. I'm not sure if we came up with an official name for this challenge.
No, nothing sexy or interesting. I think, I'm a bit of a watch collector. There's a thing they do, like a 2-watch collection, 3-watch collection. Maybe it's as simple as just what's your one box collection?
Alright.
Collection.
The one tub vintage challenge, something along those lines. So what I'm going to do, Dan's obviously his idea. I'm letting him be the first one. He's debuting it. So we're going to go through what he would keep when Panthor was coming to destroy his house. And hopefully you guys like it, get into it, appreciate this. I'm going to come and ask any of you guys to do the same thing. I'll come to your house if you're in West Australia, we'll do it live, remotely, whatever, interstate, who knows, I might even come to you one day. But anyway, Dan, tell us what you're going to save, man. So the premise is the kids, your loved ones, your family, your pets, they're all safe.
They're all safe.
You have volunteered to go back to the house and told your missus you're going to go get that wedding ring that she forgot. So you're really thinking about toys. So here we go. Dan, what do you got, mate? So what are you keeping?
Alright, I'm going to start with the ones that I only chucked in the last second, and these were always on the list, but they were packed away. So I had to find them and do them, but classic space Lego is 100% of the time, and like with a lot of the things I chose stuff I had and stuff I wanted. So the iconic LL918 is, you don't have a classic space collection unless you've got at least a bit of the fleet. So I've got a few of them at home, but I reckon just the basic one is iconic. For me, I forgot the model number, but this sick guy, I got him for Christmas. Not this exact one, but me and my brother both got one of these for Christmas, I'm going to say in 1986, 87 at the latest. We were living in Geraldton, came down, stayed at grandparents' house in Balcatta, and this was sitting there under the tree. So this is, without a doubt, my favourite. I've got a massive classic space collection, but when I think classic space, I'm thinking that bad boy every day of the week.
He's got a ton of Lego in it. That's what you can get in tub. That means something serious.
Next one, maybe not a toy, maybe is a toy, but I've got to have it there. One of the best all-time games, Sega Wonder Boy 3 Dragon Trap. So me and this guy here at his place, we lost it for about a year trying to get past the first stage. Like did our absolute nuts. And then once we eventually got that done, it all just fell into place. So there's a really awesome port of this on your iPhone. I play it almost non-stop now, but also just having the iconic artwork in the original cartridge. It's not a great copy, but a lot of my stuff isn't great. I kind of like the stuff that's been mucked around and played with.
Sure. I reckon if we had mobile phones back in the day, we would have texted each other about this game a zillion times.
100%. We were stuck as a lizard man trying to become the mouse man, and yeah, we threw that game away so many times, it's not funny. Alright, where are we going to go next? Low level one for me, right? A couple of X-Men figures, and I only have a couple of these, but I really like them. I really like them not mainly because I had a lot, but this guy here had a lot. They're always kicking around his bedroom. But yeah, a couple of Iceman as an X-Man, and then Iceman, I think that's from X-Force. That's him in his 6 sort of mode. So just a bit of a representation of those two guys.
I only remember that Mr. Sinister that had that big blue wing thing.
Yeah. You also had Apocalypse toy, remember that?
Oh, that's him, sorry, is it?
No.
On Apocalypse wings, yeah.
Apocalypse had the arms that stretched out.
I need to hand him an X-Men card. I haven't bought an X-Men for a while. Characters' names.
Awesome. Next one, just a low-level one for me in terms of collections. I didn't have tons of these, but micro machines. So that's a little wrist-wearing. I kind of like the stuff that was kind of wearable, wrist-wearing with a launcher. I've literally only got one micro machine, but that's BMW Z3. I've actually got a Z3, so of course that's why I had to buy it.
Nice.
But yeah, micro machines, I think they're going to fit into any collection from 80s and all this stuff. Alright, let's go next to these bad boys. I've got to go some Thundercats, right? I wasn't a big Thundercats toy collector, but I was a massive Thundercats fan cartoon. Panthor, I actually, as a kid, made a pair of his nunchucks, blue and red. Remember those? He used to run around the house whipping people with them. Chitara, I reckon her name was.
Yeah, that's the male away mummer, isn't it, as well?
That's the male away mummer, I reckon is just the better of the two. So those are, I think, the only figures that I have, but all worth having. I really like having some of the sick female characters, whether it's Chitara, whether it's Teela, She-Ra, that kind of thing. There was awesome female action figures when we were kids, so having those is wicked. Alright.
Sadly, I don't own a Thundercat figure, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, you get some.
I had most of them as a kid.
And they've lasted the distance because they're big, good, chunky figures.
Yeah, they're cool.
Mine's got a bit blunted, but...
I remember I had that mongrel, I forget his name, that monkey, that hunchback monkey.
Oh, monkey.
Sick mongrel figure. I had that one. That wasn't the first one I got, because all the others had sold out.
That was one of the few we had kicking around at home. So, probably late in terms of the types of toys that I get. So, my stuff is mainly 70s through 90s, but early 90s. So, definitely you're gonna want to have a couple of aliens. So that I think is Scorpion Alien. They're going to all lie down. I guess Scorpion Alien and the Alien Queen. Was it Queen Alien? Whatever it was.
I think so.
She's a pretty sick looking character. And then so I love having those on display. They're so detailed. Then to go with them, these aren't vintage at all, but I think you've got to have them. Is a couple of the Super 7.
Oh yeah.
So you've got to get a Ripley that's kind of scaled well. And what was her name? Newt. Little girl from Aliens, Newt. So, if you're going up against the Alien Queen, you've got to have those two things, sure. Right, where to next? Okay, let's go again, sticking with that 90s, bit of T2.
Yeah.
Bit of T2, right, so...
These are mad figures, I had a couple of these.
I was always looking for a few figures that kind of look like Arnie. You also got to have the endoskeleton guy, pretty clearly. Always got to have him.
One of the best figures ever made. I know it's not probably technically full vintage, it's 90s, early 90s.
Yeah, early 90s.
That's a sick figure, I didn't need that.
Yeah, and this one you get just because he really looks like Arnie.
Yeah, that's
I think you might squeeze something.
Yeah.
There you go.
Get rid of the King Hiss vibe with the chest coming off there.
Yeah. It was all wholesome fun back then.
Oh, yeah.
Squeeze the arms, chest drops off. Alright, let's go. These ones again, not vintage, but I'm going to call them as just representing vintage Madballs. So I don't have any Madballs still to come in the collection, but these are out in big dubs. I don't know, I'm going to say, 6 or 7 years ago, something like that, little foam representations of them.
Yeah.
So
Are they larger than vintage ones?
yeah, the large ones are
yeah.
more, I think they were about baseball size.
Yeah,
I literally haven't seen
I
them
never had them, but yeah,
since I was
they're
a
cool.
kid.
Anything.
No one that I've got a sick collection of, but I just grabbed a few of the same colour, Monsters in the Pocket. Yeah, they're really cool. So multiple colours. So I just grabbed 4 different ones in purple, Medusa.
They came kind of with a handful then, didn't they?
They're small cards, but then they also have those big packs like
pyramid. Big long ones.
They all have little individual windows, almost like advent calendars or something up open. And then always goes alongside them. Some muscles.
Yeah, they're cool.
I've
had them for ages, eh?
Yeah.
I know, I used to get them all the time.
This is one, I think I got rid of a bunch of mine, but you've got to keep the one that looks like Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
Sick little rip-off. And then, a couple of other different ones along the way. I mean, 2 killer. Where are we going to go?
I don't know, man. I see some serious goodies here. It's hard to
Alright, well, I'm going to go with one of the heavy-hitting lines, one of your favourite lines, right?
It's probably my favourite.
And I don't have that many masks, but the ones I do have, I think they're almost all in here. But you've got to have your Munted Scott and T-Bob. Then my 2 vehicles as a kid that I just loved was, I think this is Vampire. Is that right? Vampire? Floyd and Lloyd. As a kid, I just loved the fact that his hair was sticking out of his
Floyd, and he's got a menacing face, man.
He's
got the sickest face.
He's got a sick face. So if you're gonna have one motorbike, you're gonna have the other one too. So iconic, I reckon. Condor,
Very
Condor,
sick colour.
yep. Really good, both in really good nick. And then
Comes with dust too, mate.
comes with dust, man. Tons of dust all over the seats. And then just the figures in general, like I just can't get enough of them. Like I got Miles Mayhem. So I don't have lots of vehicles or anything like that, but Bruce Sato with Lifter,
Right.
different miles. They're just random ones.
Yeah, they're the ones from the adventure pack.
That's it, that's it. The adventure pack. As a kid, I loved the look of those adventure packs.
Yeah.
So that's one of the few things that I buy carded now. Just those.
They're really nice.
I tend to be drawn to the smaller, cheaper stuff, probably because that was all the folks gave me as a kid. So things like those adventure packs,
They're not so cheap carded now, mate. Adventure packs.
I know. All right, we're going to go to your most favourite line. And this is probably the end of my childhood toy collecting.
Yeah, not for me these toys, so Simmo, go for it, man.
Bit of Star Trek
I'm going to take
Playmates.
time out and...
I got boxes and boxes of these. These are one of the few childhood toys I've still got all my original ones. These are ones that I bought lately. These are in movie uniforms. You'd know that already, man, just judged by the colour of the uniform. You better tell me which movie? No. Alright. So Playmates figures. If you love Turtles, you've got to love these. Is all the same era Playmates. They're all still doing sculpting by hand.
Oh, you're right, mate. If you love Turtles, you don't have to love them, man. Like,
If you love what Playmates did with Turtles. So
what the hell was that, man?
That's Beverly Crusher.
I know who it is.
You had a thing for her. You had a crusher, big time. Mate, lonely days. I think that's why you steer away from them now. Sad memories.
Have you got another Star Trek item in there?
I do, man. Oh, you're right too. Tricorder.
Oh my
Impressed
God.
that you knew it though, mate. That's awesome. Yeah, stop.
I don't get him out of the way.
Look at that, man.
That is cool.
It is.
Mate, they're alright, mate. We're not far off it now. They were a bit ahead of it, though. That is...
Too right. So that's probably, I reckon, about the newest stuff that I have. That's about the time when I would say my childhood collecting kind of ended. Kennel line there, Playmates type stuff, even though I think these ones particularly were beyond when I was collecting. I bought them later. But yeah, the first lot of Playmate stuff was, I'm going to say, like 91, 92.
Yeah.
You remember those days well?
This
Same as...
this is a Playmates.
Got to go with, and there was a lot of umming and ahhing about what Turtles I'd keep, because I've got some random favourites. But if you're running away with one box, you're only going to have the four. You're getting the four, aren't you?
Was it just today, this morning,
we were talking about
our
Mutagen Man and Casey Jones. He was a very sore missed figure from this collection. But you got to have the four. Mate, none of this is standing up on you.
Oh, they bloody barely stand up on an ice solid set sometimes, man. So that's all good.
But I think we all got those wicked memories of the movie coming out, and it was just loving those days when there's just something just sweeping the nation.
They were red hot. Like you couldn't even get them in the shops. Or with that horrible looking shred at the time. It was the only one you could find in the shops. I remember Time Zone were giving this away as a ticket offer. You had to get 10,000 tickets or something. I played stupid games. I had no chance of getting them the tickets, but to try and get one of these. But they were so hard to find. They were so popular. That was just a phenomenon that I hadn't seen for a while. Probably the biggest thing since probably He-Man.
Totally.
They were just nuts.
Awesome. Let's keep going. Into what era. Now we're talking some WWE. My favourite wrestler of all time, Bret the Hitman Hart. Had to find an Intercontinental belt for him. So, best there was. What is it? Best there ever will be.
There will be.
Yeah.
Oh man.
DiBiase with the belt. I love that figure. These are less the characters, more the figures that I love. This Macho Man though was my first ever figure, and just remains probably my favourite to the day. And again, got a third-party belt on him.
Well, I tell you, when the time comes to do mine's coming soon. My stuff's boxed away because I've been renovating. But when the time comes to mine, you'll probably see those exact three figures in the bloody. I love these figures. They're so good.
They're iconic, and there's so many to choose from. Like I left Andre. He was sorely missed. He's a wicked figure. I know you've got a Macho King maybe. I don't have Macho King.
Honky Tonk Man's my favourite.
Honky Tonk's
awesome. Nuts. And Cookie Bee Women.
That's one for me. And he was in the box and he left with Big Boss Man.
Oh yeah, it's a
Big
cool
Boss
figure.
Man's just wicked figure. And just a classic character.
But that Black DiBiase, that series, is series 1?
I don't know, I can't remember which was which.
That is the
I always feel like that came
sickest figure.
after the other one, the green one, but I can't remember.
Just even the way his head's slanted, he used to do that.
Yeah.
And he's underrated wrestler.
Totally underrated.
We were massive wrestling fans.
He's still a good guy to follow on Instagram.
You were saying,
He posts some good stuff.
Yeah.
And and he likes to get back into character every now and then. Like he turns up at
That was nuts, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely nuts character.
Not as fit as he was, of course, but Never mind, we're going to leave that for now. Get this. Try to organise it a bit. So I've got to do this. This is just one random that I've got, but I'm a massive fan of June, the book.
Oh, did you get that from me?
I got that from you.
Yeah.
It's Setica? No, it's not Setica. It's a Harkonnen.
Yeah.
So I'd love to have more of these. These are LJN 6 big figures. The closest I've got is Super 7, just did small scale down versions of them. I've got all those. They're wicked, but yeah, I love June's one of my favourite.
Come up a lot, eh?
No. They're pretty popular too. And the movie, which is a weird kind of movie, this one from the 80s. Is also kind of cool, right? So
I remember how long we did.
happy watching that, happy watching the modern ones, but yeah, June's a big favourite, so that's probably representative of something that I'd still be buying more of today.
Yeah.
If I can find them.
I've had a few bits for some of the random stuff, like the laser pistol June things, and they just went straight away immediately. They just snapped up. Yeah, very cool.
Very cool.
There he goes.
Alright, let's go to another key line. Most of these I reckon I got from you, man.
Yeah.
So the Ken of Superpowers, right? Dark Side, that's Dark Side. And I bulked in a bunch of these guys. Lex, which I know is one of the cheapest ones going, but I've just always loved.
Cool,
I think I just knew people that had him as a kid.
Yeah.
I didn't have any of these except my favourite of all of them. I'll save him to last, but they're all great. Wonder Woman.
That's a sensational colour.
Yeah.
All that, they're just the classic characters. They're just so.
Yeah. Robin. I've got a feeling maybe this Riddler is the Toy Biz version.
Oh yeah.
Not the Kenner one, but totally do for me. The Robin is wicked.
These iconic characters.
Joker's iconic.
They knocked them out the park with the colours.
100%.
These figures are absolutely spectacular. For me, Superpowers, M.A.S.K, and Hasbro WWF are my probably top 3 toy lines. And you know how much I like Star Wars. They were through above Star Wars in my head. I love them, mate. Yeah, there's quite a few of them. I've already got my trade planning in my head, and there's a lot of them in there.
It's already starting to feel really, really good, but tons more to go. So
you did pretty well cramming in.
Yeah.
And when I do ask you, you're not allowed to have a crate. You know, these figures. It's got to be 60 litres max.
60 litres. There's the Superman. That's a beautiful Superman. He's awesome figure. You've got to have him if you're going to have.
Such a sick figure.
But for me, the iconic one, this childhood favourite character, toy character anyway, Batman.
That's the sick
I
figure.
just love that. It's a beautiful figure.
Colour scheme.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't have any Batmobile, do you?
No, don't have Batman.
You're going to get
that's coming up.
That is nuts.
Following that on, I had tons of these in my first version of this box. First version was like this with none of the Star Wars stuff yet or a few other things. Had tons of the Kenner Batman stuff, again right at the edge of when I was collecting.
Yeah.
But just
Batman Returns?
a couple of figures, a couple of figures from the first 2 movies. So one Batman, I set it on.
I haven't seen that, did you?
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, there's a few different good Batmans from the first 2 movies.
Cool accessories.
But the repainted Penguin,
Yeah.
I've always liked, even though nothing like Danny DeVito. It's still just an awesome figure. The Catwoman figure.
That's actually got a longer nose than the Kenner version, hasn't it? That repaint.
Yes.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
That's a weird thing for them to decide.
It is.
And then a Joker from the first movie. The first movie figure is pretty weird. So that Batman came out after with the second movie, but got the first movie one too.
He squirts out of his flower, doesn't he, with a pump thing.
But yeah, if you're going to have one, you're got to have that one. That's the one that came with, what was his henchman Bob?
Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about the other day. Mongrel black figure with balding like old Vegan. That's the only figure I could get at the time because they had sold out as well. Even WA man, when things were hot, you couldn't get them back in the day.
Totally.
I guess it's like now, you can't even get a bloody origins figure in the shops. You got to pay scalp prices.
Right, now we're heading into, for me, the big kind of iconic things.
You're kind of coming up maybe halfway.
You reckon?
Oh, not quite halfway.
Not quite, but we'll go through pretty quick. We're going to run out of space.
That's right.
Alright, so first up, of course, right, MOTU. And for me, there's a couple of iconic early figures, but like the thing I remember as a kid, I remember when the Horde came out. I was at Toy World at Whitford's, I saw them, and my thought, I think I told you this before, I went home going, don't tell anybody at school. Don't want anybody else to get it. And so I've just got a lifelong love of all the Horde stuff. We've also got my absolute, probably favourite figure.
You do like the leech, don't you?
I do like my leech. He's got to be there. Pretty mangled, that one.
So cool that
So cool.
sticks on the wall.
Yep.
Leech. He lived in my fridge for quite some time as a youngster.
Grizzlaw.
This was my face.
Grizzlaw, sick figure.
Yeah, we've got an Origins in here. So.
I've got no Origins, even though I've got tons of Origins around.
Yeah.
Then let's go to some kind of iconic ones. Gotta have Panthor, and got to put a Skeletor. Yep. Well,
Tell you what, if you run into space, you'd probably get rid of those Star Trek figures, mate.
they're the last to go, mate. But yeah, classic Skelly is complete. Oh, Woody. Oh,
He was in good condition.
he was in good condition. He's. I don't mind, like I said a few times. I actually don't mind my stuff being a bit bashed up. I like them.
Have you got his stuff?
Yeah.
I
There is.
I think I actually got a spare stuff. There we
There it is. I shouldn't have said that. Still the stuff of it. And then you can't have Skeletor without having He-Man. And long conversation happened on the run this morning about who your favourite He-Man is. So mine is always Battle Armor He-Man. Skeletor I like the original, but He-Man, want him to have his Battle Armor. Again, just a childhood choice. That's just what I was given. And yeah, love it.
I got OG He-Man and Terracola Skelly. It's the sickest figure.
Again, love of the strong female fighters within. So I've got to have Teela as well. So a really cool Teela. I only really got that quite recently, like all complete. She's in great nick.
She's nice, yeah.
Yep. A couple of then random ones, tangential ones, New Adventures He-Man. I really love this Skeletor. I just like the face sculpt on that guy. I don't know much about New Adventures, but that's a killer one. And then this is one of my all-time favourite figures. Never had him until a year or two ago. This sick. I think he might be called Oculus or something.
Right, that's a pretty cool figure.
He's a really cool figure.
Did you have any of these? So you had some of these?
No,
Yeah,
I lost He-Man
yeah,
interest by that
yeah.
time. Total lost interest. So to find just a couple of them, I remember even seeing this as a kid thinking, they're not muscly, they're not, they're just trying to make it last, and I was definitely on the Transformers.
I do remember them. They were shell formers, they didn't sell very well.
But that one's a sick figure. Check him out. He's wicked.
They're actually worth a fair bit now, aren't some of these?
Yeah, I think they are.
Yeah.
I think they are.
Yeah, they don't come up a lot for me.
No, and not in good nick either. Oh, I got some.
This one's nice, yeah.
Got some extra.
It says it's complete.
I think so.
Yeah.
Cool. The gun. All of these guys, I don't necessarily have all their weapons here, but they're all complete.
Maybe you want to get this one.
Again, one of my all-time favourites. We've talked about it a long time.
yeah.
The Stinks. This one,
Still got a bit?
a little bit on the arm.
Yes, there.
There's some there.
Oh, yeah, he's there.
Is there?
This is, and I love that Origins line, but I've expressed my disappointment. The new one doesn't smell. What the hell?
What's the point?
Why would you do that?
Stinks that doesn't smell.
I've bloody made them so good, those Origins, because it doesn't have a pig on him.
You know.
No.
Clear. And then this is probably my favourite figure, Man in Faces.
Yeah.
My memory of this, I've got a really clear memory. I was living in Geraldton, my grandfather was coming up from my cousin, my nunu was coming up, and I had a dream that night. I planned I was going to hang the weights on him to get me Man in Faces, and I had the sickest dream about Man in Faces that night, and then executed the plan the next day. Target Geraldton, the only place you could get anything. Got it. And still to this day, to me it's just iconic.
Very nice. Has he got loose legs? It's bloody hard one to get tight legs.
It's not too bad. I reckon
It's
you
pretty
could-
good.
With a bit of effort, you could probably make that happen.
You done a band replacement at all?
No.
I hate talking about that. Jeez.
That again, let's go a bit more tangential. You've got to have a knockoff He-Man. And this guy, I can't remember his name. He's one of the more iconic ones. Suffers from a bit of gold plastic. His shield's broken there. There's a piece to it to fix. But maybe people at home are going to know that guy. He's kind of one of the well-known ones.
Is he one of the Sun Gold ones? The Galaxy
There's
Warriors?
so many, I can't remember. Yeah, maybe a Galaxy Warriors, but he's. I can't remember what he's called. I'll have to look him up.
Same as this one, mate. Search him down.
Yep.
Yeah, he's cool. So he's one of the more popular ones.
Definitely. Well, he's one of the more well-known ones. There's a few that are specifically very cool, I think. Yeah. Don't know tons about it, but I just feel like if you're going to have a He-Man collection, you've got to have at least some of the cool He-Man knockoffs. The other one, for me, I've never bought one, is that dude with the Cobra head. To me, I just saw so many of those kicking around when I was a kid. So
That's cool.
I'd love to get
And
one.
that pops up a lot, too.
Yeah. Last one from He-Man, and all the boys can probably relate to this. We all had the girl cousins. We were playing with She-Ra, and we would do the sneaky include She-Ra in the battles as well, off to the side. So I grew up with just brothers, so we didn't have any, but I had one girl cousin who lived not too far away. She had a pretty sick collection of She-Ra, so every now and then, She-Ra could jump on the back of and there you go, brother and sister, going for it. So yeah, again, going with a collection of awesome female characters. Got a She-Ra in there, that's a pretty nice one. Did I get that one? No, I don't.
No, I don't think so. No.
Alright. Where are we going to go now, man? We'll save.
Mate, there's still a lot of gold in here. There's some vintage gold in here.
Right, I reckon it's time to go to Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm just going to make sure I mix the recording. I'll edit this bit for a second. Yeah, all good.
Right. shall I move this down and start putting up here, or they're not going to get in the frame?
We can put the ones some of the bigger ones you've done behind there.
All right, see how we go. I might just show off the Star Wars stuff. I think most people on this channel probably Star Wars is the iconic ones. People aren't going to be too surprised. But you know, what do I love about Star Wars? Definitely, you know, again, like as a kid, didn't get a lot of the big stuff.
I think you're better with some of the ones that stand well here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't get a lot of the big stuff, so my love is always the small things. So I actually really like the mini rigs. This is my all-time favourite Star Wars vehicle. The old, I know that's not really your favourite or even close, but I absolutely love that. Love having a speeder bike, the pilot on it.
It's mini rigs. I love my hater, mate. Like this general nothing between.
That's my favourite, but I really love all of them.
Yeah.
We get the Lego guys.
Yeah, that would stand quite
Yep.
nicely out there.
So in terms of vehicles and ships, nothing major. Got to have a Hothwomper for me. Hothwomper is like seeing the old Star Wars displays in Bones or Miners or whatever it was. That's where I got my first one into one of those. Those are the most exciting things you could go to, especially like I think I'm still like living up in Geraldton, so you're coming down to Perth for that kind of stuff. And you're going like we're going to see family. We're like, Mum, there's just one thing we've got to do. And so she takes it, and you just love it.
That would have been in most major cities, right? It's city stores, I reckon, would have had those displays. That was insane. I remember they had things coming from the
city. They don't do anything like that now, do they?
Nah, not at all. The toy store displays are shocking. I just remember we were spoiled, man. The displays were nuts. I remember some of the.
It's a golden age. It was.
Wonderland toys had vehicles suspended from ceilings.
Yeah.
It's nuts. Now it's just nothing.
Alright, so I went pretty skinny on my collection of vintage Star Wars figures. Oh, there's another one of them. So I tried to pick ones just as a kid that I absolutely was frothing over. So maybe I won't pull them all out, but Boosh, one of my all-time favourite, Jawa. An awesome story of Jawa. Me and one of our other mates were middle of high school, so we're talking 91. And we're just walking along the corridor, and both of us at the same time saw a Jawa sitting on the floor. And for us at this stage, we were like going to swap meets trying to find Jawas, or trying to find new Star Wars. It felt like it was like 5 years after Star Wars stopping and sort. We felt like it was like a million years. We felt like we were Indiana Jones searching for them. And this thing randomly, it was like somebody dropped gold on the floor, and we just both hit the deck, wrestled in the middle of everybody, just wrestling, fighting, and he got it. So I got a lifelong love of Jawas, without a doubt. TIE Fighter pilot.
That's a very underrated figure.
To me, it's just, again, childhood. These are all childhood ones. I won't get them out of plastic, but Gamorrean, Sick Gamorrean. This is one that I reckon nobody else would love, but I just love I just love him, man. I love putting him in one of these things. It's just, as a kid, another speeder bike. Dude, putting this together, what I realised, I was just saying to Eric, like, I really gravitate towards the Jedi figures. Even though not as a movie I don't, but obviously like we're like 5 or something when Jedi came out. So obviously I was probably a lot more in the moment. Wicket, without a doubt. I also loved Lando, Skiff Lando. Great figure. It's a pretty plain figure, but it's just everybody loves you. Yoda is sick. For me, absolute pinnacle was Jedi Luke. Luke Jedi is absolutely pinnacle. Got to have an R2 in there as well. It's just a bog standard.
So that is nice shown down.
And then for me, like first actual present I can remember getting as a kid was a Darth Vader. I can remember being in like Santa coming to a daycare or something that I was at, some kind of lucky dip kind of thing, and literally first thing that I got. So it's the earliest toy of any kind I can remember that, and then one of those. What's not here that I'd love to have is one of those big Mego Incredible Hulks.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and those with the felt clothes.
They're quite large, aren't they?
Yeah, they're quite large. You can find them, but a lot of them are busted up.
Yeah.
But that's that first two toys I remember getting as at an age when you shouldn't remember getting toys. I'll chuck these. Chuck those over there.
A couple of heavy hitters still coming, man.
A couple of heavy hitting collections, but what's that?
I think Shira took down Macho Man, mate.
No man, it was Penguin.
Penguin
fired his missile, man.
Launched. Jeez.
Never trust the villains, man. Never trust the villains.
With big noses.
Saw his moment and went for it. Alright, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna need some space. I'll start with, alright, so next thing, probably my lifelong passion, and this is like, I've got a tub like this full of these figures, is all the Arco stuff. So Arco Other World is my absolute passion. All the bendy figures, I've got tons of them here, but I've got a whole box of them, but also Arco Swords and Sorcery. I love the thing I collect about these things weirdly is like the smell. The smell of the rubber on the Arco stuff. I've got a sealed box of them that I'm just literally, I say to my wife, like, you don't understand what I'm collecting here. It's not toys, I'm collecting, this is my childhood smell.
Yeah.
So, shame we can't do smell-o-vision, but here you guys also collect Arco, you're going to know that smell. It's very distinctive. Every single figure smells like that. In fact, almost if you've got one that's been in the sun and you can't smell that type of rubber, it loses half its intent. But I'll start with Swords and Sorcery. So a kind of random line. What do I love about these? Like they're just kicking around in my Lego box for 10 years after when they should. They're, I guess now, just later in life, I've been a bit more interested in things like D&D. So I'm a bit more taken by the fact that they're, they're really like D&D miniatures. So they're these kind of.
What year are these guys, man?
These kind of guys. Oh, they're all about the same, early 80s.
Yeah.
And so these were, again, like these were the cheap toys your parents got you, instead of buying your He-Man figures.
I have no recollection of this line whatsoever, eh?
So, yeah, I really dig them. So Arco, and these, and the other thing too, if you can see, they've got the tiniest weapons there. Yeah. And these are like a lot of the Arco stuff was the
glow in the dark ones.
Glow in the dark ones. It's like almost my most treasured accessory.
Oh, you've got them too.
So I got,
yeah, right.
What have I got there? About 5 or 6 different glow-in-the-dark Arco weapons.
I reckon they're worth fortune, those guns.
The other thing about collecting these guys is, so they're swords and sorcery, but most people don't know that. So you don't find them very easily. There'll be some, if you eBay them or whatever.
Yeah, they're just shoved into lots of other stuff.
You just got to go looking in lots of stuff and look for anything that says toy soldiers and stuff like that. So I'll just leave those couple out.
I've honestly never heard of them, so. Interesting. There's no markings or anything.
A few others too, it's probably worth just bringing out. A couple of the others, you could also get them on horseback and stuff like that. So they're kind of cool, the fantasy version of, cowboys and Indians type stuff.
Fleetwood Toys.
Yeah, Fleetwood and Arco, I think was some way connected. Or maybe Fleetwood then picked up the molds.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. Before we get to Other World,
Okay.
So another classic ones. I've been building sets of these. I think I've got 2 complete sets and 2 that are almost complete. These were called Monsters and Dragons, or Toys, or Towers and Dragons.
Yeah, I had a tower, I think.
Yeah, you did. So basically, you got a tower full of these little dudes, and they've been knocked off lots of times. So there's a later version from the 90s. So you've got to be careful in terms of which ones you get, and you can tell. I can't remember exactly what it is, but the
cool colours.
The ones that were done by Arco are kind of more translucent.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And the other one, the others are much more solid. And I think these ones are these are D&D molds. Like, so these were old lead figures that then got turned into. And so whenever I see them, I just can't help pick them up, and then you slowly sort of get. If you need. I think I worked out that this, 2, 4, 5 figures, 2 dragons is about a set. Get a tower, and there's so many, because they were all done so cheaply, there's so many variations. Get a tower, get that, you got a set. So like I say, I've got 2 full ones and a number of partial ones. You can see it's all made by the same company, it's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, same style.
Goes with that. Yeah. But then the joy for me, for Arco, has got to be Other World.
So this Arco, I can deal with. Yeah.
That's that distinctive smell, right?
Yeah. I don't have any Arco at the moment, so yeah.
This is, again, Arco, it's all about your weapons. So you find weapons, you buy them, and it's glow-in-the-dark gold.
Yeah, okay, geez, that's a nice collection of weapons.
That is. They all go
with... Is that part of that little weapons rack thing? Yeah, some of them?
Some of them are,
weapons.
I think I brought my weapons.
You've got the castle, don't you?
Got the castle, that cost me quite a lot. Just in case the missus ever sees this video. I doubt she's going to go running in to see this video.
Probably not, but you never know.
But I'm going to spend the time on all these guys. Like I say, I've got a box of these. Another mate of ours, I just gave him pretty close to probably a full set. And he's been down, I'm like, mate, I have 6 or 7 of each character. And I'm literally just getting the rubber. So Love Man's pretty hard to do.
You got his boulders too, haven't you?
I got his boulders. Yeah. His boulders are in there. I think, all of the animals.
This is a mad figure. This is one of the more valuable ones too, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Man,
Frogger
Yeah,
he's pretty sick characters. I love those big time. The iconic, I think, So Zendu, the head bad guy.
Oh yeah.
Honda.
I don't recall.
Actually, this is
name's Dex.
as a kid we had them. As kids, like we'd get sets and like you get the box sets, and my mum would want me and my brother to split them up, and I'd spend all this time like psychological warfare getting you to pick the shit ones, and you know I'd get the double-headed dragon and stuff. So he comes with armor. All the armor.
Yeah, you've got them too. All the armor and stuff.
So he's I forgot his name.
Is he Prince something or other?
No, the Prince guy is this guy.
Oh yeah,
That dude, Rady.
Yeah. He's quite common, eh? Yeah.
Very common, and then not very politically correct Schizo.
That's a mad figure.
This is sick. Let's try.
You got to be quite nice condition too, eh?
Yeah, well, like I said, man, I've got so many of them, I'm like just picking and choosing which I keep.
That's a mad figure, that dude.
And then the rest are just.
Nasty.
Yeah. Let's see, what we got.
You don't have all your stuff on display, don't you?
No, that was part of this kind of idea that, you know, once I do get something to display.
This is what's
this
going
is
to go
the
up.
stuff. Ronan, head guy, then Karina, and then just some random, it's got a name like Jerker or something.
He's got a
warrior.
sick head, hasn't he? That's it.
That guy. And
Yeah.
he's also got, he's another one that's got armour. So I've got, that armour's so hard to find, so the yellow armour in there is his, and the red is the other guy's.
Nice, man. So every single figure can play what you got, yeah? Are these guys?
Every figure can play, yeah.
Nice.
It's also like they came in so many different packages with probably random weapons.
Yeah.
You know,
So
whether they're
mix them up.
single packed or double
So you got a
packed.
lot of them in lots?
Got a lot of them in. Well, this guy. So this is that weapons master dude. So I've just kept his weapons aside. So this is my favourite figure. Look at the calibre and the quality of the figure.
I haven't seen that figure for a while. Actually, I had a Lava Man a little while ago, but I haven't seen this figure for God.
There's the
that's
Skeletor.
a weapon truck. Yeah.
And so I got all the weapons that go with it. The most expensive piece I bought, other than the castle, that's the chain that goes from his leg to this.
Okay.
And
Did you
I
buy that one chain individually?
either did or I paid ridiculous amounts for all the other stuff that came with it.
Oh, yeah.
I've only seen that chain on eBay once.
What's it go for roughly? Right.
Just in case Elisa's watching, man, I'm not going to say.
Mate,
I'm going to say that I paid at least $100 for it.
Yeah, okay.
But the absolute favourite figure from my favourite.
Right, that's a sick figure.
And
Yeah.
how brand new?
That looks really
That
nice.
looks
The paint is beautiful. The blue on his jocks or whatever you want to call it is very nice.
Yeah. So I keep all that together as a kind of, that tells me, and I think I tried to match those weapons as best I could to online art. Everyone else doesn't really matter with weapons. And then last one, I brought two different ones, something pretty cool, so Cobra. And what I like, I mean, I guess what a lot of people like about collecting is when you discover new stuff. And so I got this guy, and he's in Wicked Nick. And then I got a second one. And when I came, I realised it was like a really fundamentally different mold. You can see the shape of the mouth is different, the head.
Oh, the head is very different.
Yeah. And so a lot of these, you can see the variation between the quality of the mold making.
Yeah.
But this is actually different, you know? It's actually, as I say, the mouth's totally different. All of that's bent in. Eye positions, like there's
Completely different.
different. So, you know, I was looking it up online, I didn't see, when you can even see just the spikes on
scaling.
scales.
Scales. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see how low they go compared to the other. So, you know, we'll love that stuff, right?
Variant collecting is a thing, man.
Did we find something that, did you find something that nobody else has picked up before?
Is it the same COO and all that kind of stuff? Yeah.
And they're also made all over the world, so.
Yeah, no, very different COA.
Yeah,
3 line, 2 line. Yeah, cool. Well, any Arco experts? Hit us up if you know about this variant. Dan Man would like to know.
Totally. Awesome.
Yeah, they're cool, man.
Right.
Did a bit of justice here.
We're heading down really into the last group, or really the last subset of groups. So it's got to be robots, right?
I see what you've left for last, man.
Last man. So let's.
Is that telling me something you've had best for last in your eyes?
I reckon this has definitely got to be the lifelong passion. So of
Very
course,
fine.
talking Transformers and other kind of robots.
Yep.
I had a massive. I had a small collection as a kid. Then I built a massive collection that. Is really the first lot of figures Transformers ever really sold.
Just
Sold about
massive, ridiculous load. It was every single toy line.
Every toy line from
Trident.
G1 through
Toys.
early 2000s.
Yeah, it was cool because I actually didn't know how many Transformers lines there were for your collection.
It was really cool. So I whittled mine down to just my favourites, and they're doing this now, going like, what are my absolute iconic Transformers? Again, most of them just go back to my childhood ones. So starting with a few non-Transformers, Mysterians. I don't know if any of you guys know those, but they're just random shapes that turn into these random looking kind of
cool.
robots. They are cool, man.
I've actually got a mint on card. I think you gave it to me. The blue one. I don't know his name.
Yeah.
I don't even know where it is right now in my house, but I'll find it one day.
Yeah,
in my crate.
They're just, to me again, it's always like you wanted a Transformer, your parents or your grandparents bought you one of these instead because they were $2. And then you've seen it kicking around.
You got it from me, didn't you?
I think I got
I remember having it, man.
And I had a few of these. So I think you sold a bunch of mine of these. I just kept this guy who I really like.
You know that?
But they got kind of, I think they got kind of generic.
They do.
But you know, like they don't really look like robots. They don't turn into anything. They turn into a shape. But we could, they just fit it in whatever kind of gimmicks they could. That opens up somehow.
Yeah, he's wicked cool.
I just like it because again, it's like the stuff you got bought when you weren't good enough to get, the big ones. Iconic.
Very nice.
Totally iconic. What they called? Starias, yeah. So I had M.A.S.K. I've still got probably a half a dozen of these, so I just grabbed a couple of random ones. To me, they're all as good as any others. Really, they're really cool. Really cool figures. Wind-up actions. That was that working?
Yeah, I think so. I think you kept ones away because you got a wiki collection of Starias. They were really nice. I've got a couple of them actually.
That's right. Yeah, those were
such nice condition. The chrome was magic. They all worked. There's no loose limbs or anything like that. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Good to drink.
Here
we go.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, totally cool.
And mix and match, heads, arms.
And I think like with a lot of these ones, like I said with He-Man, like you don't have the full story unless you have some of the knockoffs as well. Like He-Man's got to have Arco around it, got to have those other things. Like everybody riding the wave of Transformers, you had to have him. But before we get to the actual Transformers, here's another one of my favourite lines. I had tons of these that Derek sold for me big time, converters.
Oh, you get one, yeah.
This one's in beautiful nick, but they are, you pick them up, they're fragile as anything. Like you don't, you're not going to be too robust. You can just feel how thin the plastic is.
These are so cool.
Yeah.
This is bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, whatever you got that. Yeah, you had some nice ones of these, man. And I sold them for him, that was 3 or 4 years ago now.
Yeah.
Mate, pricing them was so hard because there was very, very few known sold examples of them.
They're a fun thing to collect because some of the stuff I had there, like I saw one of them on eBay in 10 years of looking for them.
Yeah,
you get it.
Nuts.
You get them for a reasonable price, even though it's the only one you've ever seen, probably the only one.
Yeah, and then getting them with the accessories even better.
So I reckon knockoff collecting is tons of fun. Because,
sure.
It's hard to find it in general. It's hard to find good stuff.
And you even had the battery powered select converters. That was stupid rare. They were ridiculously rare.
So much cool stuff. Alright, so let's go. We're going to go next to. I'm going to start with a bit of. This is just my favourite Rock Lord. I've got his weapon, it's not here, but all my Transformers and GoBot stuff has got their weapons. Of course, being in Australia, they're Machine Men, they're not GoBots. Got to call them Machine Men. But Nugget, having a really high quality Nugget. This is another one. A mate of mine had a Nugget. Always wanted it. I don't think I had any as a kid. So I got a few. But
I've never seen that one.
To me, he's just iconic, and he was a main character in the cartoon too.
He's cool, though.
Yeah.
Me too,
Yeah.
And these things, getting the accessories is so bloody difficult. Like, for example, if that's worth $50, the weapon's probably worth $100.
Yeah.
It's so hard to find. He's probably worth way more than that, by the way. He's cool as. It's actually quite mesmerising, that colour in the eyes.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Because all of the rest of them were kind of like humanoid inside, and he was a robot.
He was there
nicely. Alright, where are we going to go next? Just one Super Machine Man. I really like these, the bigger versions of Go.
Oh, yeah.
I like this guy for a really specific reason. Like, as a young guy, I was reading a lot of the Isaac Asimov novels, and there was this series of them that had these wicked, futuristic covers of robots and stuff. And so this always reminds me of that.
Oh, yeah.
All the other ones had more like a car cockpit on top, but this guy just sort of screams to me those kind of 80s sci-fi novels with the iconic, really high quality, fantastic artwork. So
a lot like the character in the Back to the Future comic that Marty Marty was showing,
I've never read
he comes back into his time and he was looking at comics. I think one of the artworks on the front of those comics is something like that. Yeah, that's what reminded me. That's cool.
Yeah, so I love that one. So when you sold my Machine Man too, that was one of the ones I was always going to keep. There's a few others too.
That's a great piece.
Yeah, he might not stand so well.
Oh, okay, you went cool.
He might fall. Yeah, his legs are just a bit loose. Let's see how he goes. Oh, other converters in there. You know, there's so many different sublines of converters. So this guy was like a pinball machine. So I had a whole bunch of those. I just kept one.
There's so many of them.
Yeah.
If anyone you know about transformerland.com, if you just select converters, they've got a wicked site on there and resource. They've got all the accessories and so many names for those things. They're nuts. That's how I was at least. You really appreciate it, man. That's a beautiful stick too.
Yeah. It's funny to see, as I said, like, that's the cheapest of the cheapest toys you were buying at shops. $2 shops.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Well, the fact that it's poor plastic, poor grade, and good condition you've got that in, that's nuts, eh?
super cool.
Very nice.
Awesome, man. Alright, let's go GoBots in a really big way. I mean, I love Machine Man, I love GoBots. Selling a bunch of these, I almost kept them all, and I thought, nah, better not, I'll just keep my comic stuff. So this is about half of what I kept, but you know, it's just amazing like how many I wanted to have in this box.
Right.
So leader one, every day of the week you've got to have a leader one, and they're all pretty great condition. So leader one, they're probably none of them are going to stand. You've got to have a turbo. So mainly I think I've ripped out.
Turbo's nuts.
Yeah. I didn't bring Cycle or Copter. Had both of those at home, but I just couldn't find where the accessories were. But they're in beautiful nick. So it's mainly the cartoon characters. So turbo. Look at him. I mean that's like brand new, right?
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And the transformations of these things, like, it's so basic,
Yeah.
but they're so cool, man. Like, the legs come down pretty much and it turns around and the arms come out.
I loved even in the cartoon, like the fact that, you know, you could see the toys, you could see the faces on them, so they kept that on the cartoon as well.
Yeah.
So they're often like
Yeah.
Psycho was driving around and he'd look up with his head in motorbike mode. Fighter.
Who's the little lieutenant?
I don't have it here, but
What's his name? That's the best transformation. It just lets fold.
Well, it's the same as this guy, right? Look,
Yeah.
I brought this because look at that, it's brand new. When you transform him, that's, I can't even remember. It's almost as simple as Train Man or something.
Yeah, well, his legs fold and his arms
Look at
lock up, yeah.
Look at that's a brand new.
That's a bloody cool figure. Look at his face.
Yeah.
Like, the detail on his face.
The detail on them is awesome, and all the die cast is awesome.
Oh.
They're iconic to have. And then
What's this guy's name?
I remember like something really simple like Terrain Man or something, but I could be totally wrong. Again, female characters, Crusher. Ever heard?
No.
In the cartoon?
No.
Yeah, she's iconic. They did a Transformer, recently they did a Transformer version of her. She was sick, so she was like the right-hand person for Psycho. And then again, you've got to have Scooter. Little Sicko.
Yeah, that one.
Go Scooter, and then the last one I got, just to remember as a kid loving it, what it was called, but they did those bug characters.
Yeah. He's cool. I should know his name.
And he's just, the click on the toys, it's crazy how good condition.
Just did a lot. What's his name?
Fighter.
Yeah. He's nuts.
Wicked.
Cool.
Right, man, only one toy line to go.
Well, what do you think of this, guys? What's missing from the table?
Pretty
obvious.
Pretty obvious, but let's go. And this is kind of, again, like, it was really good exercise when I sold all my Transformers to you, or got you to sell them all, I should say. Whittled down to what I really wanted, and then when I was thinking about, like, what would I put in the box, it's just childhood stuff, total childhood stuff. So I brought this just as a random thing, so we all love the transforming watches for Takara.
Yeah.
We all had the Man. This one is
That's a knockoff, isn't it?
No, that's the actual Takara.
Oh, okay.
Takara brand one.
That's worth a ton, isn't it?
So this one doesn't work. I don't know whether it is or not. I haven't looked for ages, but this is a different type of guy. It turns into both a ship and a robot.
Yeah, man.
And so, and just even having this thing is awesome. Having the band is good. He turns into something like that. You know.
And you are a big watch man.
I'm a watchman for sure. It'd almost be worth spending the money getting the electrics working. Or even just I haven't chucked a battery in it. Like I haven't seen it.
Yeah, how that?
Oh, be again with there somewhere, right?
You should give it a crack.
There's a tiny screw there, yeah. Be totally interesting. I didn't even know that was there. Oh yeah, because he's also a ship. So he can be a robot, a ship, or a watch. So the ship must look Yeah.
Pretty cool.
So that'd be the shit. I don't think I've ever transformed that, but yeah.
Mate, you got a season front, mate. Yeah, he's pretty cool.
So, you know, again, like my collection is always just the weird and stuff I love. The other thing, like one of my most favourite pieces, just makes me feel like a kid again, is this brand spanking like holographic wallet of Ravage.
Yeah.
Ravage is one of my main faves as well. And so I bought this.
You got that a while ago, not that.
Yeah,
I
don't know, a couple of
years.
years. And I was just like, it's brand new. And just for me, I've really gotten into the art of Transforms lately. I haven't been buying the figures, but I've been buying a fair amount of comics and card backs. So Blast Off, one of my faves. So I grabbed that the other day.
Yeah, that's nice.
Because that's the way your artwork's meant to be seen. Yeah. Meant to be seen on the card, I reckon.
Oh, hell yeah.
With all the details as well. But to me, that's just probably the best toy art from the 80s.
Well, I think it's because it's some artwork.
There is some great art.
Next level of it.
But the Transformers stuff, because the artwork was always a lot better than the figures, so it always gave you this kind of, figures could do all this stuff.
No, some of the toy box art and card back art was insane. Like M.A.S.K, G.I. Joe, they're so beautiful. I don't see any Joes here, man.
No Joes, man. For whatever reason, I do have a Joe at home. But funnily, like my memory of Joes is just your house.
Yeah,
you just had buckets of them. It's not that I didn't like them, but I just never not once, bought a single Joe as a kid. But some of them are wicked. Some of them are so wicked.
Absolutely.
Right, so let's start with mini bots, which again, you know, for me it was always what were the small ones that you got, like Power Glide is almost to me the perfect looking Transformer. It turns into a great looking little figure. Major character, really good. Same with Sea Spray, not as good a toy, but a great little character.
That's my joint first Transformer, Sea Spray and Skeletor. Very first two I've got. That Sea Spray is such a sick figure.
You know, you got to have a Bumblebee, right? Yeah, that's my original one. I got a few different versions of it. It's not like, well, none of these are my original childhood ones. Yeah. This is one that I've had for a long time, so he's pretty rough, but I kind of like that about him. I got a couple of nice modern ones too. If you like, and this is not a mini bot, but if you like Bumblebee, you also got to like Goldbug.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and the comics, if you're a fan of the comics back Marvel, he became Goldbug as a power up, and then Ratchet turned him back into Bumblebee when he became a classic Pretender. It's all that story about Bumblebee was a power up, pretty munted kind of looking figure. He's a pretty plain looking dude.
He's that one of the pullback ones, isn't he?
Yeah, throttle box.
Yeah.
But it was as a kid cool going, oh, that's actually Bumblebee.
Yeah.
You know? So
That's
as a
much
kid,
cool.
I also knew that it wasn't a great looking figure,
Yeah.
but just the fact that it was Bumblebee was always wicked. So yeah, I got quite a few him as well. The other one I brought, again, just childhood memory of playing with his Pipes.
Yeah.
So I like Huffer, but you know, Pipes being the remold, you know, they did those remold. Swerve turned into, what was he? Is it Gears? Or the other way around, Gears turned into Swerve.
Yeah.
Huffer into him, and then Brawn into Outback. Yeah, they were wicked figures. My first two Transformers
Ever.
as a kid, and I need a much better version of this, and I'm thinking you're going to help me with sometime soon, is Rumble and Ravage.
I've got them both at the moment.
Those are my iconic Transformer duo. I was really pleased. For a long time I was thinking about buying an AFA graded box set, which fair amount of money, but then they recently did those reissues of them, and those just tick the box for me. I don't need to have super rare stuff really, just beautiful views of the artwork with the figures on them. But Ravage, these two, I think, first Transformers I got for Christmas.
Yeah, okay.
So, always going to love them, need a much better Rumble than I have right now.
Who's your favourite, mate, out of those two?
Out of those two, probably Rumble.
Yeah.
And for me, you know, there's always a debate, you know, is Rumble versus Friendly, which one's blue, which one's red?
Yeah.
For me, there's never any question. The cartoon is always wrong.
Yeah.
It's always Rumble is black and red.
Yeah.
It's always got to be.
I like Rat-Bat, he was my...
Yeah, I was back in a sheet.
Rat-Bat was my favourite set. Such a sick set.
Favourite aerial bots? I had to rip this off. I got the full set. I'm just realising, just how old these are. These ones I was collecting early days at eBay, late 90s, early 2000s. So again, one of my favourite ever figures is Firefly. Had it as a kid, loved it. Me and one of my brothers, we each had an aerial bot. We never had Superion. And I just, to this day, love him. I buy any modern versions of him coming, so there's a new one coming from, I was called Age of the Primes. Looking forward to having it. Got the one from Combiner Wars. It's just a great figure, and
it's very cool.
Just, to me, not iconic to the range, but iconic to my childhood, 100%. Also alongside, was probably in my top 3 favourite figures. And again, mine's not so great. Blast Off. This one's metal chest. All the Combaticons were metal or plastic chests. So I think I just kept my metal chest set of Combaticons.
Yeah.
What I love about this dude, so I placed in a cartoon colouring competition with the West Australian. So I have just strong memories. I didn't know what I was getting. They just sent a letter saying you got something, come into the city to get it. So just like losing my shit all day while Mum, she's like, "Yep, we're going to the city," and then she's shocked all day long, and I'm just losing my brain. Like, can we get?
She made you wait.
Before, and I was but the memory now is like super strong.
Yeah, I know that is sort of winning.
I don't know that. I actually bought on eBay a similar letter that somebody else got in a colouring competition for that kind of thing. But yeah, man, if I had mine, holy hell. But yeah, Blast Off is 100%, in my top 3 favourite figures, favourite characters.
Right.
So I need a better Blast Off looking at that guy there. But yeah, he normally sits.
Well, yeah, you need one matching the quality of that card back you got. That's card back, so. He
sits on my Bruticus, so that's good for this one. But I'll buy another good one.
Yeah.
This has been the other good thing about this exercise. Going, some of these aren't I remember. Alright, let's go. You've got to have a combiner, and I kept all my combiners, but the one that I'm going to pull out is M.A.S.K. Again, childhood memories. Actually, as a kid, I didn't think he was the best one by a mile, but as an adult, I just love the design of him. I do have his sword's not in here, but I do have it. Yeah. But I love the boxiness of him. I love all the cars and the way they look. And then, as I said, as a kid, like for me, being able to scrounge these, and I was horse trading with mates. I don't reckon I bought any of them. I reckon I traded people for all of these to get to them. So yeah, M.A.S.K, absolute favourite.
I just recently learned he was the second combiner after Devastator.
Yeah, he said that, yeah. And I love all the combiners. I love, and so I've got them all at home, except I think I sold my Computron.
And sold your Predaking.
And I sold my Predaking, that's true. Well, I never kind of counted him, because I was never close to having him as a kid. But all these ones,
Devastator. Nice Predaking.
Yeah, that was a wicked. That Predaking was straight out of the guy I got it off. I bought the boxes and everything.
I know, he sold some of those, but that's another story.
It's another story. Oh yeah, there's Beach Camel, which again, didn't realise my Beach Camel wasn't as good, but again, my love of mini-bots. It's pretty sick. And then late Transformers for me, I had a few that I really, really loved. So first thing was Micro Masters, and I've kept tons of my Micro Masters. I reckon I barely gave you any to sell.
Yeah.
But the first one that you get, the Race Car Patrol, absolutely wicked. So when I was buying graded comics, I had to get the comic that introduced Race Car Patrol because they're awesome. And so suddenly you're getting four little toys for not much at all.
Let's get M.A.S.K out.
Yeah. It was brilliant. And then the opposite side of the Race Car Patrol was these guys. Again, got the comic introducing them to Airstrike Patrol.
Yeah.
And even though some of them, like this guy, figure wasn't very good, the others, figures are awesome. They did recently did modern version of those. I can't remember which line, but
similar size scale.
They've got them in that whatever they call it now.
Yeah.
But about that big, bit more detail, a bit more posability, but. Micro Masters, so I was a big fan of Micro Masters, still to this day, really. Again, going to the new stuff, and then we're going to go to the older and iconic stuff. Bird Drone. I was so pleased actually, because I thought I was giving you this to sell. I was so pleased I kept it. So I had this as a kid, loved it. Yeah, the whole set's pretty good, pretty hard to find. You're after a set.
I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to figure out whether I should do it slowly, piece by piece, and get it together, or just go boom and buy it. Very money to go, but more fun.
You got to start with the guy who's got all the gold plastic bristleback. I've got to get a good one of those.
Yeah.
And then everything else falls into place pretty easy. But yeah, got all these pieces. I just, as a kid, I think maybe the big pretenders were outside of a price range for me. So being able to just get a pretender in a small scale, and they were wicked, really simple.
They're very cool.
Very cool. And just that, I loved a lot of the last runs of Transformers. I drew the line back in the day, Action Masters. Something like that don't transform. So, but everything else.
Having said that, that's so cool looking at it.
Cool looking
Action Masters, that looks so good. Some of the handful in that, beautiful. I'm
saving the older ones to the end. So, other one, Power Masters, Headmasters, Target Masters, I love them all. So this guy, Double Dealer. Double Dealer was the Power Master. Was the Power Master with two different engines. So he had Knock or Scar, this purple bat, and Knock, which was like a human-looking thing. And depending on which one you plugged in, he would transform into different things. So the Decepticon was the the bat, and that would turn into this eagle. And then the robot was an Autobot, which was created by putting him in. So he was like, I think he was, at the end of the day, he was a Decepticon, but he was a double agent, so he could disguise as an Autobot or something like that. And so, yeah, inevitably I had to buy this. I redid him recently, I had to buy him as well. He's super cool.
Rocks is getting a thing, mate.
We're getting there, man. We're
Remind me
getting there.
again, who's that Transformer Pretender that I must purchase, that red one, where it goes inside?
Oh, that's the
again?
the Ultra Pretender. It's got the car.
It's got plastic.
It's a thing, yeah. Shit, man, I
I can't see it.
forgot. So this, you know, you got to have the sound wave. I got a really nice Takara reissue from the early 2000s, but this is a proper G1 one, so you got to have him. He's got to have Buzzsaw in him. That's just demanded. And again, I've got the weapons, got the rules.
Too good.
Right,
That's a good card back, I think.
go back. That's all good. And
Yes. You're not going to get too many people arguing using the sound wave. They're
No.
the best time all time.
totally iconic. Picking Seeker Jets was interesting, and so I kept quite a few of my Seeker Jets, but if I'm only taking one, I'm bringing Skyball. And I didn't have him, my brother Michael had him, I had Starscream.
Yeah.
Or no, my youngest brother had Starscream, I don't think I had any of them, but to me, it's just iconic Decepticon colours. He's in beautiful condition.
We spoke of this morning.
We did, man.
This time.
We did, man.
I had Starscream. I love Skyball. The colour scheme, that purple black is spectacular. But mate, all of those Seeker Jets are so good.
Yeah.
Considering they're pretty much the same mold, just stuff around the wings and the bombs and stuff.
Totally.
They did such a good job of getting you to buy Hammer with it, like Trust and
There was 6. Good to go.
Yep. For some reason this turns off at last every half an hour, so I don't know why.
That's alright, gave me a bit of time to pat Little.
So it's only a handful left, we're just about there.
Only a handful left, so let's we'll bring out the big man next.
Yeah.
Didn't have it as a kid. Every kid surely wanted it, right? A Mega Supreme. I do, yeah. Again, all the accessories put away, but you don't have a G1 collection
Hell of a buy.
without having him. He's just iconic looking. He feels great on him. It feels great to hold. He's got a million bloody pieces that are all look like they're holding okay at the moment, but
Did I not sell one for you? Or was that another one? I sold you Scorponok, didn't I?
you saw my Scorponok, yeah.
Because I remember I had him and Scorponok at the same time, and you think this guy's a beast, Scorponok dwarfs him like.
Oh, Scorponok's
But that's savage.
yeah.
Did you get the Scorponok?
No, you sold my Scorponok.
Cool.
Yeah,
No,
well,
he's gonna fall, dude. Don't leave him there.
I reckon. Alright, let's.
I reckon that. Yeah,
He'll be okay.
So you got working electrics, his work, etc.
He did last time I checked,
Yeah.
like 20 years ago. So,
Nah,
who knows,
man.
yeah, I still love him, just random
That's
paraphernalia.
stamp or
Remember that stamp? Yeah.
Yeah.
Optimus stamp.
Yeah.
That kind of jazz. Again, another story behind Bone Crusher. First Transformer I ever bought for someone else, bought for a mate of mine in Geraldton. And he was like, he said to me, oh, my dad bought me every single Transformer, for my minutes.
Yeah.
Wicked, yeah. So next one, Bone Crusher. Bought it for a mate for his 8th birthday. He said to me, my dad bought me every single Transformer. And after this, Pizza Hut in Geraldton, went back to his house, and it was full. Brand new Transformers, every Seeker Jet, Optimus, Megatron, Soundwave.
Wow.
I just remember seeing somebody who's absolutely given absolutely everything. And so, I remember buying this for him, and just my love of the Constructicons, just been there since that moment.
I took ages to piece them together as a kid.
You got to have a Dinobot, right? And so I think I've got really nice Grimlock, Snarl, and Sludge. For me, it's got to be Snarl. I just think he is just weird. Stegosaurus, favourite dinosaur. They feel great in hand. They're so heavy. The chrome is wicked on them.
You can't go wrong any of the G1 Dinobots, honestly. I was a split man myself.
Picking Insecticon, I actually reckon Bombshell's a better figure, but as a kid, had Shrapnel, loved him. So he was there, always going to be the choice. He's always the one, if I'm picking one,
Sick figure.
going home. A couple of random ones now. So this Wheeljack's a great figure. This one is, you can see how beat up, or you probably can't see, but totally beat up Wheeljack. He's got paint on his eyes, but it was given to me by one of my good mates who might watch this video, Michael Jepson, as it was his, it was his childhood Wheeljack. And so anytime I reckon anybody gives you something that was from their collection, like you just got to honour it, you know. So I filled it out. I bought the wings, bought the cannons and all that kind of thing. Like you can see, there's even a crack there. But again, if it's something that survived someone you know's childhood, you just feel like, you know, that would be picked up 100% of the time.
I'm still scarred from you put me on some Michael Jefferson. I helped him sold his Simpsons toys. Man, I'm still scarred, man. I didn't realise how many he had.
Two more random ones just relating to things that I love. Skeletor I loved all the Seacons, but Skeletor was one of my all-time favourites. I've had many versions of him. Always had one in my collection. And last one again, all-time favourite. Again, not being able to afford the main Target Masters when they released Junior Target Masters, it was just awesome. So Quake.
Yeah,
they've just released a new version of Quake. He's just as cool, but well, he's probably not even just as cool. This one's cooler. Double Target Masters, double the guns. He's just super cool.
Mad.
And that, my man.
That's your crate, man.
That's my crate, man. That would, as I say, looking at all this stuff, if I put a cabinet up in my office and it's full of all this stuff,
I'm pretty happy.
I'll be happy. Yeah, 100% I'll be happy.
So the world's about to explode. This is what this man's taking with him in one single crate.
One single 60-litre crate.
Origin of this entire premise is Dan the man here. He ran me in a sweat, all pumped up, and I love his idea. I'm going to do one soon too once I get my toys out. If you want to do one of these, shoot me a message, comment here, find me on Facebook. You know who I am, Dave Westbrook. Love to get your toys, your favourite toys. Thank you, Dan. It's a great idea. Thanks for starting it off for us. But before you go, what is number one? Moru's about to blow. You got one hand. Who do you grab and run?
Who am I going to grab and run?
Who do you grab and run? One toy, dude.
You son of a bitch.
I know, it's tough.
Okay.
It's hard enough getting it down to a crate, let alone one. And you ain't got too much time to think about it, mate, because the fireball's coming.
Alright, man. Well, it's something that I love, but also that I'm not going to eat.
Was it the figure you left for last?
Yeah.
There's a reason he was last.
I'd find him. What do I agree? Do I go with love or do I go with hard to find? Mate, I would just go with love.
It's hard, isn't it? It's hard.
I'm just going to frag it, go with love, and go. I'm running out with my. Can I say my bag full of Arco?
Yeah.
Alright.
So you got Arco?
I would grab my Otherworld collection.
Yeah.
Everything else, you're going to find those, but they're really good, Nick. I think I'd run with them. Oh no! I'm going to change it. 100%. It's Batman.
He's gone Batman.
Okay. I'm going my childhood Batman. That is absolute childhood for me.
I tell you what, man. Like you asked me the same question about what you got on the table behind us here. Man, it's a bloody big call. I'm probably going to go DiBiase, to be honest with you. I absolutely love that figure. And I mean, look, you got Batman, Superman there as well, some of my favourites. But yeah, I'm taking off that door with another man. Everybody's got a price, man.
That's a sick
It's such a figure. Obviously, with the wrestling, the icon, and just his voice, everything. I'm going to DiBiase, man, so.
Sick call, man.
It is. And Marcho would be hard to say no to as well. Maybe two hands, I'll take those too. But yeah, no, that was awesome, man.
Awesome, man.
Thank you, man. I reckon I'm going to get down back for comes up some killer ideas. I reckon I'm going to get back on the tube soon. But
on the tube, awesome.
Yeah, please, anyone's keen to let me know what you're going to run away with. The world's about to explode. 60-layer challenge. It can be less, not bigger though. Let me know, guys. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Dan. Let's do it.
Cool, man. Thanks.
Now we're going to pick this up.
Yeah, should do. Probably so.
All right.